Here we go. We're at Termas de Rio Hondo in Argentina. Round 3 of the MotoGP World Championship. And what a start by Marquez and Espargaro.
Espargaro currently running in first place up the inside of Marquez. Bad start by Andrea Iannone. He's back down to about 6th or 7th. Espargaro got away well on the Suzuki. He leads Marc Marquez. Valentino Rossi bumped out a bit at turn 2. There's Cal Crutchlow on the LCR Honda with Andrea Dovizioso right behind him. It's Marc Marquez now leads that turn 2. Espargaro dives straight back up the inside.
Espargaro leads the way through turn 3. This is the fastest part of the circuit, 1 kilometre long. So they come down towards turn 5. A Suzuki leads a Grand Prix race, perhaps not for long. The extra horsepower of our Honda just races past. Marquez would try and break them up very early on because of his tyre choice.
Lorenzo, aggressive move up the inside of Cal Crutchlow at turn 5. Lorenzo up into 3rd place and rides around the outside of Espargaro at turn 6. Lorenzo leading the chase of Marc Marquez. We said it was a bad start for Iannone. He's been bumped back from 3rd to 6th.
Yeah, I think that Lorenzo realises as well that he's got to be careful. Pressure from Cal Crutchlow there on Andrea Dovizioso. Lorenzo knows that Marquez would try and get away, but Aleix Espargaro fights back once again, then runs it a little bit wide. So they come down now into turn 11. Marquez is getting away at the front.
Lorenzo back underneath Espargaro at turn 11. Marquez already trying to make a break. 0.3 of a second up he was through the first 3 sectors. Espargaro again up the inside of Lorenzo. This is down at turn 13. Runs it a little bit wide. Lorenzo back into 2nd. End of the first lap. Marquez leads. Lorenzo, Espargaro, Crutchlow, Dovizioso and Iannone is your top 6.
So Marquez just where he wanted to be with that tyre choice. He's opening up an advantage. 0.8 of a second already as they fight it out through turn 1. But they're fighting it out for 2nd place.
Valentino Rossi was started 8th. He's in 8th place at the end of the first lap. No big move from the 36-year-old at the moment. It's Marquez that leads on this 2nd lap. Marquez already a 2nd clear of the field. Lorenzo leading from Aleix Espargaro. Cal Crutchlow now Honda power against Suzuki power. Crutchlow should win that race down to turn 5.
Here we go into turn 5, he certainly does. Espargaro doesn't want to let him through. Espargaro now round the outside, and he's got pushed wide, Espargaro. So Crutchlow now moves up into 3rd place. Espargaro
really pushed out wide at turn 5. That gave Andrea Dovizioso the chance to move up into 4th place. Lorenzo still in 2nd. Crutchlow has moved up 1 place on the grid into 3rd. It's now Iannone having a look up the inside of Espargaro. Espargaro led the race on the first lap. He's already been dropped back down to 6th.
Yeah, he's been pushed back by the 2 factory Ducatis, by Crutchlow. Marquez still leads the way comfortably. Lorenzo's now got a bit of clear space to settle into some sort of rhythm. Great start by Crutchlow. Didn't make such a good start in Austin, but from the 2nd row of the grid, super start by the British rider. But Marquez won here last year. He's winning here. But this race may be decided in the last 5 laps.
Crutchlow just had a lunge up the inside of Lorenzo at turn 13. Was he able to make it stick? Crutchlow now. Crossline he was. Marquez leads the way, but Cal Crutchlow has taken over 2nd place from Jorge Lorenzo. Lorenzo now under attack from Dovizioso at the first corner. Lorenzo loses another place.
You see Dovizioso and Iannone closer. Here comes Rossi. This time Rossi is through at turn 7.
Valentino Rossi, you consider already having big movement on the rear tyres on that.
It's a tyre choice, and further down the field it's paying off as well. Bradley Smith is starting to make a vote, and we have major problems here for Petrucci or Hernandez.
That's Johnny Hernandez. You can see there that bike of his, that Ducati, is on fire. He had no idea, Johnny Hernandez, as he tipped it through that fast turn 3. He'll have to jump off that as quickly as he can. He had no idea.
Some of the guys from Bridgestone just pointed out, look at Rossi's lap time. He's now actually even quicker than Marquez the last couple of laps.
Wow. Rossi moves in front of Andrea Iannone. This might look done and dusted with a 4-second advantage of Marquez.
Valentino Rossi, number 46, the 9 times world champion, having a good look at Cal Crutchlow. Big moment for Crutchlow. That's going through turn 7. He loses 1 place to Rossi. Crutchlow almost down at turn 7. He drops back to 4th. Rossi now inside the top 3.
Side, I don't know if he's made it stick. No, Crutchlow, I think, just hanging in there. Here comes Rossi at turn 7. Rossi into 2nd place in front of Dovizioso.
This is where Rossi took 3rd from Cal Crutchlow on the previous lap, up the inside of Andrea Dovizioso. Now Rossi 4.3 seconds behind Marc Marquez with 15 laps to go. We know that Rossi's got the extra hard Bridgestone rear tyre on. He should keep grip for longer as the race distance goes on. There is Marc Marquez, number 93. Hours down the back straight. The gap now 0.6 of a second on the brakes into turn 5. Rossi as close as he's been all race. And for Rossi, right with Marquez now as they power down the back straight.
Will he have a go first time? I don't think he's going to be quite close enough. We ride with Rossi. Marquez in front of him as they come down towards turn 5. He likes 7 and 8, also Rossi for overtaking.
Marquez now, this is through turn 5, runs it over the curb on the inside. Valentino Rossi now within 0.3 of a second of the Spaniard.
Seconds don't matter anymore now, it's visual. You can see Rossi closes up down at turn 7. 2 laps to go. Marquez can probably hear Rossi closing up on him. Rossi does close on of 13, flick it through 14. 2 laps to go with this extraordinary Grand Prix of Argentina. They race up to turn 1. Here comes Rossi.
Marquez holds the lead going through the first corner. Valentino Rossi hugging his back wheel. Rossi so quick through this first sector. Will he have a look on the inside at turn 2? Rossi moves to the inside. Rossi's going to take the lead. Rossi up the inside of Marquez. Runs it a little bit wide. Marquez back through at turn 2.
We knew he wouldn't give up without a big fight. Marquez back in front. Rossi closes once again through 3 and 4. Can he get a slipstream and try and get out of the slipstream on the brakes into turn 5? Here we go. 93 against 46. Rossi on the brakes.
Rossi up the inside. Marquez had a bit of a moment on the brakes going into turn 5. Rossi leads contact there between Marquez and Rossi. Marquez is down. Marquez has crashed out of second place in the Argentinian Grand Prix. Well, they touched on the exit of turn 5. As Marquez and Rossi went to flick into turn 6, Marquez clipped the back of Rossi and the world champion is down.
No points for Marc Marquez. A touch coming out of turn 5 with 1.5 laps to go. Marc Marquez race is over. Rossi surely now will win the Grand Prix of Argentina to increase his lead in the World Championship. Listen to the crowd.
What a remarkable last couple of laps we've seen. Well, what a remarkable 23 laps we've seen here in Argentina. Valentino Rossi crosses the line to start the final lap.
He actually clipped the rear wheel, didn't he, of Rossi. Rossi into turn 1, past the Rossi grandstand. Andrea Dovizioso, another second place. There is going to be an investigation by race direction on that incident.
A dejected Marc Marquez walks away. This is the moment of the race. Marquez running a little bit too hot on the brakes. Rossi up the inside. And there's going to be contact here. Marquez is going to clip the back of Rossi. Well, that was almost a carbon copy of the Zarco Simeon incident, I think, in Texas. Rossi was going for the line through turn 6. Here we go.
I really don't think Valentino Rossi can take the blame for that incident, do you? We will find out. Mike Webb and Race Direction will decide that. In the meantime, let's celebrate an amazing, truly amazing ride by the 36-year-old Italian.
Marc Marquez at one stage was over 4 seconds clear of the field in this 25-lap Master Rio Hondo race. What drama we've seen unfold in the last 40 minutes or so. Confirmation on your screens, Race Direction. The incident between number 93 Marc Marquez and number 46 Valentino Rossi currently under investigation. Rossi, for me, was in front of Marc Marquez. So Valentino, he did have a little glimpse left.
Here we go, into turn 12, 13, 1 bend to go. His second Grand Prix victory of the season for the master, the doctor, Valentino Rossi.
Andrea Dovizioso crosses the line to take yet another second place, and Cal Crutchlow dives up the inside of Andrea Iannone to take the final place on the podium. Crutchlow loved that, didn't he? Crutchlow takes third with the best lap of the race for him on the final lap. Lorenzo crosses the line in 5th, but Valentino Rossi What a victory. Aleix Espargaro comes across the line in 7th place.
Whew. It could be a long night. Under investigation by race direction. I've got to say, they made a very quick decision, didn't they, last time out? Oh, Maverick Vinales is absolutely furious. Scott Redding finishing 9th place. It's a good ride by Scott Redding. I'll go Scott Redding, Maverick Vinales, Danilo Petrucci. Great point scoring ride by Jack Miller.
This is the key moment of the race. Contact there between Rossi and Marquez as they exited turn 5, and you could clearly see that Rossi was ahead of Marquez when they collided on that run through that to turn 6. Marquez scampers back to his bike. He could not get it going again, though. That's when Marquez tried to flick it left at 6 and hit the rear of Valentino Rossi's factory Yamaha.
I don't want to take sides, but Marc Marquez is involved in those incidents the other way around many times, isn't he?
He's really angry with himself, Marc Marquez. He took the gamble to run there, but what a day for number 46, Valentino Rossi.
Where will this end? Where will this story? Where will this adventure? Where will this career end? An extraordinary ride. We saw in Qatar where he could fight it out, with Andrea Dovizioso throughout the race. Here, he just pulled back the advantage, knowing he had the advantage, and in the end, he forced Marc Marquez into a massive.
We'll be getting used to these runners-up trophies with Andrea Dovizioso. That's the 3rd one he's collected in 3 races so far in 2015. He pushed Valentino Rossi so hard for much of that race.
Yeah, Rossi didn't drop him, did he, when he got into 2nd place? But all the headlines would be about the man wearing the Maradona Argentinian football shirt. Valentino Rossi, his 110th Grand Prix victory. At 36 years old, he leads the World Championship by 6 precious points. The Doctor still on top of the game at 36 years old.
It's been an excellent 7 days for Rossi. We're about to hear the Italian national anthem.
Well, we've heard that many, many times. Well, 110 times with Valentino Rossi on that top step of the podium. It'll be interesting to hear what he really has to say. It must be one of his greatest ever Grand Prix victories. The champagne time. And don't let's forget Andrea Dovizioso and Ducati. 3 second places, 2nd in the World Championship. And Cal Crutchlow just bringing LCR Honda their first podium finish of the season. Their last podium finish was nearly a couple of years ago with Stefan Bradl, I think, at Laguna Seca, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, it was indeed. Nick Stefan Bradl started that race from pole and took a podium. As we said, great final corner move by Crutchlow on Andrea Iannone. Rossi takes a big glug of the champagne. It would taste pretty sweet after that victory.
And where's the next race? It's got to be only in one place. Marc Marquez's backyard. It's the Spanish Grand Prix. I would start driving down there now, because you're not going to get into the town. You're not going to get into the circuit. Over 200,000 fans expected over the weekend. And who can blame them when you get entertainment like we've just witnessed here in Argentina?
What a 7 days for Valentino Rossi. 3rd in Austin, on a track we've seen Marc Marquez dominate so much on, and taking the victory here. Another track that Marquez dominated on last year. Rossi's picked up 41 points in 7 days. Marc Marquez, that DNF that he suffered today, drops him back down to 5th in the World Championship rankings.
What must have it